Flight boss, bitch. For sure. Listen to the mind of an Terry's Moon. I'm the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucker responsibilities. And this video right here is going to be about what is the actual purpose of a relationship. What is the actual purpose of a relationship? So, here, before we even get deep into it, let me separate things. Now, both individuals have to actually propose to something on their own, aka have a purpose. You see what I'm saying? So what does it mean to propose to something on your own, right? This, when you marry something, and once you marry something, you create a bondage. So, scratch out all the things that you have learned as far as the religious texts of practicing adultery and things of that nature. We're going to get into actual aspects of it of right now. So it's basically when you have an Adam and Eve, a thought and feeling, a masculine and a feminine version of yourself, right? And when you could come to a decision or a conclusion that you agree with, and you feel like this is in your favor, then you joint your masculine and feminine, your thought and feeling, your Adam and Eve, and you joint them things together. And then that created a marriage, a bondage, right? Where you came up with a conclusion or a decision that was in your favor, and it wasn't negative or something that was against your favor. Like if you created a Satan, a thought that went opposite towards your original thought, which will be your father, your original thought or idea that you wanted to do, right? So when both individuals can create their own purpose, aka propose to something and marry it and have a bondage with their own concept, their own theology, their own way of how they want to live their life, their own morality in some way, shape, or form, okay, then this is when a person is ready to jump into a relationship. You see what I'm saying? And then when both parties come together, when both individual spirits come together, right, they create a ship. And when they both have their purposes come together, that ship, both spirits can jump on that ship and relate to each other on that ship, and that creates a relationship in some way, shape, or form. So you have to be careful when you are in an environment or you're jumping into a relationship with another individual who lack purpose or who lack the ability to have a purpose in some way, shape, or form. Because slowly but surely within their life, they're going to play the victim role and place blame on every person, place, or thing within their life on why they can't develop some form of purpose. And if you don't want to be the victim of that person's energy, especially for 10 to 20 years, especially if you end up marrying this individual. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. First, you want to be careful of that energy. Now, once both individuals is on the ship and now you guys are relating, now this is a relationship. Now here's the thing: if both individuals ain't bringing the right tools and one individual got way more baggage than the other individual, then that might outweigh the relationship also. But right now we're just talking about the purpose of a relationship. So when you got the female energy, the spirit that picked the body of the mentality and the daughters of men that to play out the female traits, the spirit that picked that body caters more to the container. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it hold on to a vision as if it's the womb or dirt, and then for the most part, it nourish it and make sure that that seed grow. Now, when we talk about the spirits that pick the masculine and the male type body, right? Then for the most part, here's the thing: this is the energy where they kick out more of the vision, aka the seed, something that needs a space to be in, a place to go in some way, shape, or form. So you have the vision, and then you have the place where the vision go. So the vision is like a seed, and then you got the feminine energy, the womb that plays out like the dirt. And then for the most part, this is the whole purpose of a relationship, manifesting something that caters towards security, safety, and shelter. Security, safety, and shelter. Those the triple S. Security, safety, and shelter. And therefore, that's what you guys are actually trying to manifest when you guys are sharing space within all realms of realities. Security, safety, and shelter. Security is basically having conviction on what you guys want to do. Safety is basically doing kind of divination, aka preparing yourself for future events so you can be secure in those future events. You know what I'm saying? So that's safety, security, and whatever the other one. But for the most part, like I said, right, that the triple S's, that's putting you into a situation where that's what you guys are. And shelter, you know what I'm saying? Shelter is basically the body or more children or a roof over you guys' head. You know what I'm saying? So security, spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Safety, future preferences. Shelter, present. You know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. And then you guys' air can move through that as the air of you guys throne in some way, shape, or form. So here's the actual problem when it comes to relationships, right? Because it's two individuals that's in a relationship and you guys are not powerful spirits, aka divisions. And here's the thing, right? That's not to say that the female body won't never have visions, and that's not to say that the male body never supposed to be the container. It's just the thing. It's just, here's the thing. If the female have a vision, it's going to be overall about the container. And if the man has forms of where he's supposed to play out the container and hold it down for whatever vision a female have, 9 times out of 10 is for an overall vision, though. You know what I'm saying? AKA, the best way I could explain it is, this is probably why y'all done set up situations where you probably got to be at home and babysit for a certain amount of times, and your woman go out and work a job, because basically that it might have been her vision. She might be the artist or something like that, but you have to play the container. But for the most part, you being a male is for the overall vision, because you can steer her in a direction of the right way so she don't get emotionally persuaded into the events that she's getting into. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. And getting back to the point when I said every individual will have to have their own purpose. The best way I could explain this on the third dimensional level is you can't love nobody unless you know how to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? The more you know how to love yourself, you have enough love to give to someone else. If you jump into a relationship and you don't even know how to love yourself, you're going to be placing that responsibility on others in your life to fulfill whatever you lack, because you don't know how to give that ability to yourself in some way, shape, or form. So you already don't need to be in a relationship until you know how to do that with yourself. So that's basically like saying when both people have a purpose and then jump into a relationship. That's a better way of explaining it. You know what I'm saying? For people who may get lost at times or may not have purposes and shit like that. But here's the thing, right? Now, when it comes into the situation, this is how you manifest on a grand scale. When the male have a vision and an ideal, the woman hone in on it, add many visions to it, but make sure it's concealed and held down in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? So that it could be nourished, that seed could be nourished and grow properly in some way, shape, or form. But here's the problem with today's relationships, and kind of always been. Because when you got two individuals that's in a relationship, but y'all weak ass spirits, the male is going to come up with a whole bunch of dumbass visions that make it hard to believe in some way, shape, or form. So that's the whole point. When a female believe in a vision, a seed, that's what makes it grow. See what I'm saying? And that's the whole point of a relationship. The vision, the male, then the womb, the female. So that vision, when it has a belief system behind it, aka, I'm not talking about religion, just someone to believe in it. If it's a powerful spirit in that female body that believe in that seed that they're containing within them, mentally, emotionally, and physically, then for the most part, that means that they're giving it extreme water. Extreme mermaid water, and that's what makes something grow extremely fast in some way, shape, or form. Right now, when we start to talk about the problem with relationships nowadays, here's the actual problem. The actual problem is this: when you got a weak ass spirit in a male body, the visions and shit that they come up with is some shit that's hard to believe in. It's like, what the fuck? You sure I could believe in some weak ass shit like that and things of that nature? So that seed never get nourished in a right way. And then vice versa, right? Let's talk about the female. A lot of times when a person, they might have fucked up beliefs. So they might be blinded on what to believe with all of their heart in some way, shape, or form, based upon their limited point of view, their upbringing in some way, shape, or form, what they have seen worked in their life. So whatever that you have presented to your partner, she may not never see no example of that working in any way, shape, or form. So it's unfamiliar. So she's not going to give it the water that it actually needs to manifest. So you're with someone who's not actually down with you in some way, shape, or form. So that's how I go on that end. You know what I'm saying? And how I go on the other end. Like I said, you could be a male and then your visions and shit like that. You could be around a spirit that's in a female body that you're in a relationship with who's well versed. But then you might just lack. You might just don't have the right kind of visions to make somebody believe in some way, shape, or form. So it's on both ends. You see what I'm saying? But the whole purpose is when the male release visions and ideals, the female receive them and believe in them. And that's all it takes. And if you guys are together, aka the male have the right vision and the female have the right belief system, AKA, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about she know how to believe in something and nourish something, then for the most part, that vortex, vision, belief is going to actually become sex and actually become a text, aka externalize X out y'all from inside of y'all and actually be something that you guys can gravitate in y'all lives and manifest forms of safety, security, and shelter from in some way, shape, or form. So be careful who you pillow talking with nowadays, especially if it's not someone that you can connect with on a regular level, or someone who rock you to sleep, or even someone who you can't really understand because there's a bunch of dumb retarded energy going on and things of that nature, and things rather be communicated in other means. Be careful with sharing energy with individuals like that, whether you a male or a female. You see what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, you're going to be planting seeds in areas, or you're going to be nourishing seeds in areas if you're a female, that doesn't necessarily, those seeds doesn't necessarily need to grow. So there's going to be trees in vacant areas that don't get no sunshine anyway. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be careful of that. Because, for an example, if you're a male out here, be careful who you pillow talking with and giving all your visions and stuff too. Because when you're talking to a female and she received this, if she's not in no nourishing, she's not really on your side like that. She just up jumping and ghosting and shit like that. And it's kind of almost like irresponsible kind of energy where, like, if something was to partake, you can't even really get a hold of this person even if you try, and this is like serious things and things of that nature, then you need to know that you're planting seeds in dud areas. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you're just really trying to do something to get in somebody's pants. You're not really that serious about anything, and you need to start getting serious about life in some way, shape, or form, because where you plant seeds at, these is your creations. And if your creations is with a fucked up individual, a fucked up ass female, then everything that you manifest in your life will never be right. You can't move forward without looking back and feeling like regret or frustration about shit. And that's esoteric bondages on your spirit without allowing you to be free through something in some way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. And the same way, females, you know what I'm saying? Be careful with males you're talking about with nourishing all the seeds from bullshit ass individual males and things of that nature, because you could be filled up with so many seeds that motherfuckers start pollinating each other and fighting each other and stuff like that, then nothing grows properly. Everything grows cluttered and smothered to the point that you end up living a cluttered life, and this relationship that you in just make you feel more cluttered and unfree and make you feel like you're more responsible for shit than you necessarily need to be responsible for. So you can't even really nourish the environment that the relationship is even taking place in correctly, because you're not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the whole purpose of a relationship. When both individuals could come together, one have the vision and one have the womb. And then once that vision go in the womb could come up with their own visions on how to correlate that first vision, and then the person who created the vision can become a container to make sure that the person who took the vision in their womb to create many other visions stay comfortable enough in that external container, aka make a person feel comfortable about the visions that they're holding on to, that both parties want to manifest in some way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, and that's the whole purpose of a motherfucking relationship. And if y'all not in it on those purposes, aka both of y'all got totally different goals, both of y'all doing totally different things, y'all gonna be fighting for time, aka fighting for one person to pay attention to the other individual time more than the other, when you guys supposed to be participating on which both of you guys are manifesting each other in some way, shape, or form. So don't jump into no relationship for no apparent reason right now for the sake of fleshly, bodily urges and desires and shit, because that's always going to lead down to frustration anyway. So you want to have your cake and eat it too. So keep that in mind. Flight boss, bitch, for sure. Damn, I thought it was over.